You will have heard reports and anecdote about price gouging, as have I. Our officials are in daily contact with our major supermarkets. And while we have found no evidence, we are setting up a channel where people can report any cases or concerns that they may have. I'm aware, for instance, that there have been incidents of fresh produce price increases. We do need to be aware that these could simply reflect seasonal fluctuations. However, during a period in which there is less competition in the food retail sector and increased demand, it is more important than ever that prices are fair and reasonable. As such, we've created a reporting mechanism for the public. Pricewatch at mb.govt.nz. I want to repeat that again. Pricewatch at mb.govt.nz. A simple email address dedicated to reporting of potential price gouging. I've already seen some reports made online on social media. Now I ask those individuals if you can specifically send those reports, say a copy of your receipt, a simple photo of what you've seen directly through to MB. This will enable us to make sure we are properly investigating any reports of price gouging. No one wants to see anyone take unfair financial advantage from this extraordinary period. To be clear, it is not illegal for businesses to increase their prices, but the Fair Trading Act prohibits misleading and deceptive conduct and false representations. This means that if a business gives a reason for a price increase, it must be true. Otherwise, the business risks breaching the Fair Trading Act, and this will be enforced. The second issue we continue to consider is the issue of Easter trading, which primarily impacts on Good Friday. We are continuing to liaise with operators on this issue and with representatives of their workforce. Very important to us, we also have the views of those who are working in our supermarket chains. I do expect a final decision tomorrow, but I do want to flag that one of the issues currently being raised by operators is the need to restock shelves. I know we're all keen to make sure that when people make a trip to the supermarket, that they can get what they need rather than making multiple journeys. All of this is being factored into the decision-making process, and as I've said, I expect to clarify the position on Easter trading tomorrow. I should note that dairies are already able to open through this entire period, so no matter what, they will be available for trading. I can also update you on the matter the Minister of Finance signalled last week around sick leave support for people working in essential services. It is critical during this time of level 4 lockdown that employees of essential services are able to take leave when they cannot work, particularly vulnerable people who should be self-isolating. The risk is that if these workers cannot work from home, have exhausted their sick leave, or don't have income support, they might feel pressured to keep going to work. We do not want that. Obviously, not all essential service workers will be in this position, but for those who are, it is a serious problem, as they could be left without income for the period that they have to stay away from work. We are urgently working on guidance in this area. It was one of the issues discussed by Cabinet today. In the meantime, though, I am pleased to see the decision by Foodstuffs and Progressives, who are one of the key areas where this concern has been raised, and they have said that all vulnerable workers will not be required to work and will be paid over the 4-week period that we are at alert level 4. I see this as good practice and best practice. Vulnerable workers in our essential workforce should not be on the front line in that way. Finally, I want to say a particular thank you to those New Zealanders who are returning to our health workforce to help with the COVID-19 response. Those who had retired or had left for other reasons. 6,126 health professionals have now registered to support their colleagues, offering to work in a range of roles, including as doctors, nurses and care and support workers, some who have literally only just retired or changed their careers. At a time when New Zealand needs its medical workforce to be at its most prepared, I say thank you for bringing your expertise back to the front line. And more broadly, I would also like to thank New Zealanders for the way that they are treating the level 4 lockdown. The vast majority are doing a great job complying with the rules. Unfortunately, there are some people who are failing to act responsibly, and I want to say very clearly the police are geared up around enforcement, and they have been and will continue to act. This is not a time to look for ways out. It is not a time to bend the rules. This is a time to stay at home and to save lives.